If you're struggling with mental health, you need to watch this video and reach out to Matador Promotions. Today we've come to speak to the founder and managing director of Matador, Micheal Loup, or Loopy as he is known locally. Loopy started offering free boxing one-to-ones during the 2020 lockdown to benefit the mental health of locals at a time when people needed it most. Loopy is a popular man of the community. He's always had a passion for boxing, and since the 2020 lockdown, Matador has naturally evolved into the leading white-collar boxing show within the unlicensed boxing scene in Liverpool. They have hosted 11 shows so far, and they've helped people who have been on the brink of suicide. Loopy is an advocate for men's mental health. He's a unique character, and his energy is infectious. He's a natural-born salesman, and he's a man of many trades. He's a coach, a boxing referee, a judge, and he's about to start his journey as a commentator. So as I said, if you're struggling with the demands of life, or you're feeling weighed down, watch this video and reach out to Loopy and the team at Matador. So Loup, just tell me a little bit about Matador Promotions, if you'd have to summarise it to someone who's never heard of it before.
Yeah, basically it's a boxing academy for beginners. It started 2020, just as COVID hit, and basically the thought process is it's for anyone, usually adults between 18 and 35, that have been reluctant to go into a boxing gym, maybe because they've been nervous, they maybe have had a bad experience walking into a gym. So we wanted to open it up to all levels of people, especially beginners, and that's essentially where it started.
Right, okay, so you grew up in C4 from Waterloo and you went to Chesterfield High School, so you've always been in the area. What was you like back then, and was boxing already on your radar?
Yeah, I started boxing when I was about 13. I walked into a boxing gym in C4, North Mersey ABC. That's obviously, it used to be called the Red Lion. So throughout secondary school, I was always boxing. I was an amateur boxer in competitions, so everyone knew me as a boxer. It gave me a lot of respect, and it increased me influence to the wider community in terms of meeting people from all backgrounds. Then I moved to Waterloo because we originally lived in C4, and moved to a place called East Street, which is about 2 roads away. So I was always familiar with the area, always familiar with Crosby, and boxing was just a natural part of my upbringing and my life.
How many amateur fights did you have?
26 amateur bouts, ABA championships, semi-finals, finals, and that's obviously what instilled the passion for me to then go into coaching.
How old was you when you started the amateurs?
14 was my first bout of 14, about a year after I started.
So and then there was a gap in between starting Matador and you never just boxed continuously, did you? So did you kind of you fell away from it?
Yeah, I lost in the senior finals, the ABAs, and like anyone, it was like a bitter pill to swallow, because I thought I was going to go to the Olympics. It was Beijing Olympics at the time, 2008, and I was sort of getting picked by the England squads. Because I lost that fight, I didn't end up going. And that sort of left a bitter pill in my mouth. So from there, I didn't go back to the boxing gym for about 6 months. And then I finally did. And then I got an injury. I done my MCL in my knee. So then I had another 6 months out. And slowly from there, I found myself sort of in the party scene, like anyone does. And still doing bits of training. But from there, a few years later, I got introduced into what's called white collar, unlicensed boxing. I had my first white collar fight in 2015. So that was essentially my 27th bout, first bout, white collar, unlicensed. That was in the Adelphi Hotel in town against a guy from Preston who was an ex-pro boxer. It's called Stuart Maddox. I beat him. It was a great fight, and then that was obviously my entrance to white collar as a cruiserweight boxer. Since then, I've had 8 bouts, won 8, 5 knockouts, a couple of titles for various promotions, and I'm due to be fighting on the 19th of July in Fusion in Liverpool, Fleet Street, for the WCU cruiserweight title. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'm in training camp now.
Right, great, good stuff. So take me back to lockdown and the beginning of Matador Promotions. You started with 3 boxing boot camps during the 2020 lockdown. What made you take the leap?
Obviously, the COVID was like a pressure cooker, wasn't it? I think it pushed people to either chase their dreams and do what their passion was, or just stay inside with a mask on. And I was the former, so it gave me that edge to go, listen, I need to chase my passion now. Otherwise, I'll forever just be thinking about it. So I'm glad that it did. It started here in the Marine Gardens. This one's called Crescent Garden. There's actually a square bit in the middle, which I'll point out. And that's where I done my first sort of personal training, one-to-one sessions. At that time, during COVID, I was doing 8 hours a day for free. It was roll on, roll off. And as you can see the seats over here, I used to call that the Colosseum, because it's a bit like Rome. There used to be families just watching us. This is peak COVID, when obviously there was social distancing, etc., but you're allowed to be with one person. But listen, we were outside and we were doing it for the benefit of mental health. And, at that time, suicides were rising. And I just seen this as a beneficial for physical and mental health for people who were, suffering from that. So, yeah, we were doing roll on, roll off, pad work. I was doing it for free. And I've done that right through COVID. And we'd have families standing there, sitting there. They'd bring the picnics and stuff like that. And they'd be watching us and there'd be music on. It was great. It was a good atmosphere. And then we decided to start doing classes when the restrictions left us, starting from 6 people upwards, and that's in the next garden down there. But as you can see, this square here, this is where we started doing the one-to-ones. It's like a bit of a boxing ring. So as I say, that was the ring, and then that's the Colosseum, what we call it, where everyone will be watching.
Boss. So now you're based in Waterloo, ABC. How long have you been based there for, and how did it come about, you using their premises and their facilities?
Yeah, obviously, as winter approaches, you can't really spend much of your time outdoors. So I contacted Sean Farmer, who's an amateur coach, and he actually reopened Waterloo ABC a couple of years back with some funding. And, he allowed me to use it a couple of times a week. So we then progressed to going to Waterloo ABC, which obviously then we had the ring, we had better equipment, which then gave us the step to be able to get fighters to actually compete. So you'll see a lot of these white collar camps, and they'll do 8-week camps, but I was training people for 18 months before we put them in the ring. We made sure, they were fully ready mentally and physically. And from then, Matador just grew, because we've done 11 shows based from Waterloo ABC, training fighters in camps. And then we've had shows in Spaced Out, which is local down the road. It used to be Latham Hall. Fusion in Fleet Street, shows over in Wallasey. I've done 11 promoted so far, and had lads box down in Nottingham, as far as Nottingham. So yeah, it's been great to have a solid base where we've got all the equipment, but still we come to the Marine Gardens because it's good to combine them both for the fresh air.
So for someone who's never been through in any type of boxing environment, what's the experience like for someone who goes through one of them 8-week camps?
Yeah, well, as I say, it's not necessarily 8 weeks with us. You'll box when you're ready, but there are people who have boxed in that short space of time because they've had amateur experience in the past, or they just take it like a duck to water. But essentially, you walk in the gym, we teach you from the ground up, which means we teach you footwork first. You learn how to move your feet. Everyone thinks it's about the hands, but it's not. It's from the ground up. So once you've got a solid base, we then show you correct punching technique, how to formulate your breath work synonymously with your fighting style. And then we would then transgress to pad work, bag work, weight, body conditioning, and then you will ultimately spar with a head guard on, 16-ounce gloves and a gum shield. And then if we do feel you're ready for a fight, we'll then get you matched up based on weight and experience, and you will box someone of a similar age, similar weight, similar experience.
Right, okay. And the Matador fight nights have got a great local buzz. How many people attend the fights?
We've had as many as 600, max capacity in one of the venues for a couple of shows.
So the sponsored business of today's video is us, the Waterloo Cracker. We're a local media company that put emphasis on promoting local businesses and community groups. We offer a variety of business services, including video editing, photography, and leaflet design and distribution. We have advert opportunities available online and in print. We distribute a 4-page promotional brochure with 10,000 prints on each run, and adverts are available from only £17. So if you're a local business and you just want to generate more exposure for your business in the local area, then get in touch with us. If you're an estate agent that wants to get some nice aerial shots of your properties with the drone before they go on the market, then get in touch. If you've got a big event like a wedding or something lined up and you want to get some great footage of the event, then give us a message. If you're a local charity or community group and you want us to come and try and spread more awareness for your group's activities, then give us a message. We'll do all the work for charities and community groups for free. You can check more information out on our website, www.waterloocracker.co.uk. You can email us at community@waterloocracker.co.uk. You can stay connected on social media on Facebook, Instagram and TikTok. And you can subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay up to date with our latest videos. Nice one, everyone.
Have you got another show lined up soon, or?
We've got fighters on another promoters show, which is on the 2nd of August. We're training fighters that we've been training now for 6 months, some for a year. But in terms of our own show, Matador, we've put that on hold. But we've got one in the pipeline for maybe September, October.
Okay.
Hopefully back in Spaced Out. I need to contact them.
And the show in August, what's that called?
That is a promoter called Sean Kessahoya, UBC. So we've worked and collaborated with them since Matador started. They're based over the water. A great guy to work with. We match a lot of the fighters with them. So you're getting good 50-50 bouts between two boxers who are a similar age, similar weight, similar experience.
Yeah. So you're working with other coaches.
Yeah.
Who are training the lads up, you're training the lads up, and then you're matching them
Exactly.
together, and then you're putting an
so
event
it's all
on.
fair game, and it's
So it's obviously the health and fitness side of it, where they're going through the training, the discipline, and all the good things that the boxing training brings. But then they've got the experience and the sense of achievement of actually going and performing.
That's it. There's nothing like a goal. There's nothing like you getting in the ring with another opponent and a certain date that's going to push you more than getting up out of bed in the morning and going for a run, is there? Let's be honest. So that's why we do it. And also the mental side of things. You know, Tyson Fury talked about it years ago when he was in a bit of a bad place. He said that he wrote down goals and he was looking at affirmations, and that's what this does. It gives you that sense of purpose, and that's what people are lacking mostly at the moment, is a sense of purpose. So we're giving them that on a plate, and we're giving them the nutrition and the guidance and saying, here's point 1, you know, there's point 10. Point 10 is you're getting your hand raised in front of 50 of your family. You're going to feel like the best person in the world. You know, who doesn't want that, whether you're age 20 or whether you're age 50?
Yeah. Is there any inspiring stories that you can share with us of any of the lads that have been in? I know that you might want to not pick any out in particularly, but
the general consensus is you've got lads who are on the brink of suicide. You know, I've had lads come to me with drug and drink addiction, and they've been through major traumas. Listen, I have myself. You know, if boxing saved my life, I know it has. You know, I've got tattooed on me, no boxing, no life. Most of these lads, if they didn't have this general training and this general group, they probably wouldn't be here, because there isn't the facilities in the country for this. So that's why small organisations, non-for-profit like us, are doing things what we're doing, because these will help the wider community, and it all branches out. You know what I mean? It's the power of the people. So yeah, there's plenty of stories. I could name names, but essentially, yeah, it's powerful stuff.
Just where would you say that your passion comes from for the mental health side of things?
My mother and father, you know, they've always... my dad got me into boxing. My mum made sure I stayed in the gym. She was the one who got me out of bed on the days I didn't want to go, or pushed me after I come back from school. And even now, my mum's still on me. Come on, Michael, you've got to get back to your passion. You've got to get back to your passion. On the weeks that I don't want to be in the gym or whatsoever. So yeah, definitely me parents, you know what I mean? My dad was a big advocate for mental health. He knew it way before his time. He could see the decline in men, not just mentally, but even testosterone levels from foods that people were eating. My dad was talking about that to me 25 years ago, you know what I mean? It's like, I can remember being in primary school, age 10, and my dad was walking me to school talking about stuff like processing pollution in the plants, you know, decline of people being in the sun. So I knew what all these things were, the impact would be, so it's always been with me from that reason.
Yeah, okay. It's 5 to 8 now. your class starts at 8 o'clock, so shall we walk up and
Let's go.
we'll come in for a little bit?
Yeah, let's go.
So
yeah, we're based just up the road, Brighton Road. It's just by the co-op, Waterloo ABC. So we'll walk down there now.
And you've got a background in sales. So how did that side of your career shape Matador Promotions?
Well, to be a promoter, you've got to be able to sell, and I can sell ice to an Eskimo, sand to an Arab, a black cat to a witch. So sales allow me, especially through confidence and being in front of camera, speaking to big groups, and just approaching people cold, whether it's through a telephone or face to face. Sales give me that ability to be able to do this. You know, I'm a born promoter. This is what I do. I'm always talking about Matador, and I've instilled it in the fighters as well, who are always talking about Matador, because it's like monkey see, like monkey do, you know what I mean? And they're bringing lads all the time. So we've got a group that are on board of people that have been through it and are now doing it and attracting others to do it. So yeah, sales is probably the key element, I'd say, in us as an organisation.
So you've got a lot going on. How do you balance the demanding role of work, running training sessions and managing your events and stuff like that for Matador?
Well, I just use organisation, my skills in organisation, but to be honest, I just document everything. I write a lot of things down on my phone. I have a notepad. I have alarms set for where I need to be at different times, because I also have a 9-5 as well. So yeah, it's hard, but it's rewarding, because obviously, and alongside that, I've got 2 coaches, Micheal Loup and Carlos Goslin, that help me. To be honest, these past month or 2, I've allowed them to take the reins to give them invaluable experience without me forefronting it, and they've actually smashed it. So they've been, Carlos Goslin especially, started this with me, you know what I mean? He's always been loyal to me. He's been a coach. He's never asked for money. Only this year now we started being able to pay coaches, etc. But, you know, since 2020, Carlos Goslin has helped me. He's been, you know, influential to growing this brand, because he's an ex-coach, and he's an ex-Thai boxer with plenty of experience. So basically having a good team around you is pivotal, especially people who you trust and who are loyal. And Carlos and Chad, of course, have been pivotal to that. So yeah, being able to balance the workload between each other is...
And it's vital if you want to grow Matador as well, to have a good team around you, because obviously you need space and time. You need to buy yourself time and for things to grow and develop, really, don't you?
Definitely, yeah. Time's important, and obviously being able to balance it all out, yeah. But we're doing well, and we're only going to grow, because there's more opportunities that are coming knocking now. I'm working with other promoters at the moment, up and down the country, but also abroad, to be able to get lads to box abroad now. So it's only going. We're going wider in terms of countries, yeah.
And it's
global.
It's not just training and work that you've got to manage. You've also been doing bits of judging and referees on some of these other shows I've seen on your Facebook and Instagram pages. Just tell me a little bit about what's going on with that.
Yeah, so I first started getting invited onto other shows as a judge, which is obviously scoring the fight. Obviously, because I've got 20 years knowledge in that. So I think I've done that maybe 15 times now on various promotions. From there, then I started asking, well, I started observing and studying referees and what they were doing to conduct boxing in a formal manner. And then I decided to just take the jump and do my first show for free. Done that good, that other promoters then started asking me, can you ref our show? You know, I was doing it formally, black pants, white shirt, bow tie, and I'm you know, obviously my knowledge of the sport is second to none. So I've done about, I've refereed about 10 shows now, and it's funny as well, because I've just been invited to commentate on my first show. I was actually thinking about going into being a medic as well, to be honest, because I might as well get all the boxes ticked.
Well, look, I can guarantee you, lads, you're going to smash the commentating, because you've got the gift of the gab.
Yeah, definitely. I'm looking forward to it.
How would you say that the experiences on the other shows doing the refereeing and the judging How would you say that influences Matador?
Well, you get to obviously meet other promoters and see how they work. You know, I've always been a sponge. I've always worked. I say, you know, hate is no good, but if you can collaborate, then it's great. And I've always collaborated with other promoters, being open and honest. So I feel like meeting these other promoters and working with them and seeing what they do well and replicating it.
Yeah.
And they'll allow you to do so because they'll do the same with you. They'll see you do a little touch of the show or do something with the media, and you'll see next show that they've done the same thing, and you're thinking, fair enough, we're all scratching each other's back because we're all working with each other together. But it's given me that boost to know that there is loyalty in this game. You know, a lot of people think of promoters as snakes, but that's in the pro world. You know, you've probably got more honesty in white collar than you have in pro, I'll be honest with you, but that's without slating Eddie Hearn, so don't get on me, yeah.
Coming back to the people that you've trained in Matador, what's it like when you're walking through the streets of Waterloo and Crosby and you see them, you're bumping into people that you've helped through training?
It's rewarding, mate, you know what I mean? I am well known in the community, not just for boxing. You know, I like a few ales as well, so if you don't see me in the gym, I'm usually stumbling out the pub, I'll be honest with you. But hey, that's life, you know what I mean? We're not all angels, are we? But yeah, it's brilliant. I'm a man of the community, I'm a man of the people, and I'm a character, and I'm 6'5", so you can't miss me. So yeah, it is rewarding, yeah, especially when people are thanking you for helping the son or the cousin or the person themselves.
So looking forward, what's in the pipeline for Matador? You got any plans or any?
Yeah, as I say, we've got a show on the 2nd of August. What lads are boxing on from there. We're open to be boxing spaced out in Latham. And then from there, we're hopefully going abroad. But I've got something happening in Thailand now with fight camps for Matador and Matador going abroad as an academy. So,
Yeah, 1 minute.
Go ahead, pause that. So yeah, we're hopefully branching out globally. I'm speaking to a promoter and a gym in Thailand so we can get Matador Boxing Academy, Thailand. And that will be getting fighters over there for fight camps as well as to box internationally. So yeah, it's something that I'm looking forward to. How are we, folks? Good, how are we? How's it going? So yeah, Chad done his coaching badges alongside Carlos. Obviously Chad's my brother, and he's been, you know, I've left the reins for Matador, as I mentioned earlier in the video, to Chad and Carlos. I've sort of took a back step. So this is actually the first session I've been on a Wednesday in about 6 weeks probably, because I've left it to Chad. So yeah, how are you finding it, Chad?
Yeah, good. I'm enjoying it. Obviously a new experience for me. So I've always been around boxing, obviously through our Micheal. And then, as I say, sort of last year I did the coaching course. About 2 months now I've been doing the coaching. But prior to that, I had my first boxing fight. That was back in August last year. And then it sort of stemmed from that, sort of like the passion grew of where it's like, I looked at myself and I've sort of thought, well, you know, if I can do it, anyone can do it. So sort of that's the best thing about boxing, really. Like, from the outside perspective, it looks like it's the most, you know, obviously it's one of the hardest sports, but if you want to put the work in and, you know, the dedication, then, you know, anyone can do it. And that's sort of like what we want to sort of show at Matador, really. Like me and Carlos have got a good relationship where I know what he does best, he knows what I do best. Obviously, he's been doing it alongside Micheal, you know, for longer than I have. Yeah. So I'm sort of coming into it new, like fresh. But I think that, yeah, I think it's been working quite well, like.
Yeah, you're a tight team though, aren't you?
Oh, yeah.
You're more than a team, you're all mates, aren't you?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Mates, aren't you? So,
and that's half the battle, isn't it? Really.
Just been talking to Micheal about the judging and the referee that he's been doing. You've been doing some of the judging as well, haven't you?
Yeah, so I judged at a couple of shows alongside Micheal. Obviously white collar, sort of like semi-pro level. But that was a good experience as well. Because obviously I'm like a big fan of boxing, I watch it myself. But obviously actually being able to judge the fights, like first hand and all that, yeah. Like you realise sort of it's sort of like ringside view. And it can be tough, to be honest, because you got to keep you know keen eye. Yeah. Especially obviously in that semi-pro level. Yeah. You're getting two lads who are both going for it. And then you got to try and figure out, you know, it's like he's done that well, and it's trying to obviously like split them and stuff. So yeah, it's really good experience.
It's really more opportunities for you as well, doesn't it? Like,
exactly.
At the end of the day, like the training doesn't work, but you might get somewhere with the judging, or you might get somewhere with the refereeing.
Exactly.
I can see the commentating working for you.
Oh, 100%.
I know the periods.
Yeah.
Three brothers.
We've been saying we do podcasts. You think we should
No.
do this conference stuff?
Defo.
Yeah.
Defo.
Fair play. See you in a bit, love.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Getting in there.
Come in and see some of the lads training.
Yeah, we getting in there, yeah.
Yeah, get involved, yeah.
Get
Have a look.
Get that on you.
Sean's been waiting on getting this done, like, so this is like a, I think that must be 18, that's a 16-foot ring, innit? 16 foot. So you would box in this size ring, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You'd start off boxing in 16 foot, so obviously the ropes and stuff aren't ready yet. But obviously it's a raised canvas, which is better for when coaches are teaching. As you can see, the original ring was just based on the floor. That's a training ring, so that's what they've been training in, especially for the amateurs who are going into regular competitions and stuff like that. Anyone can come in this gym and pay Sean a £5. He's usually here from 8 AM to about 6-7 PM, but you'd have to check with Sean. But yeah, if you're from the local community, it's all revenue for the gym. This is a community gym, you know what I mean? It's a non-for-profit organisation, Waterloo Amateur Boxing Club, and the coaches, the amateur coaches, do it for free. You know what I mean? But have you got Waterloo ABC on a video?
No, I want to get Sean on one,
but that's a
just tell us a little bit about what Sean does.
Sean Farmer, simple as this, you know, he is if you think about what I'm doing for the adults and white collar and stuff, there is no white collar, there is no boxing without grassroots boxing, which is amateur. So put mine aside, they are the pinnacle. This gym wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Sean. You know, I believe he was working away on the oil rigs and he came home to open this gym. So that says how much passion he's got as a coach. He's been boxing for years, amateur, pro. You've also got Steve Matthews in here, one of the top coaches in the country. So the lads are lucky to have him. Who, fortunate to have coached me when I was younger and was in my corner for some of my fights. So that's how it all comes swings and roundabouts. But they're volunteers, they don't make money for this. They're spending hours training lads to get them to a good level. This is a non-for-profit community gym. They rely on sponsors. You've got Eli Properties there that have just sponsored the gym fees again for this new year. I think that's 5 years on the run that they've been sponsoring the gym fees. So it shows you the type of people in the community that are willing to put money forward. But without grassroots amateur boxing, the scene dies. There is no white collar, there is no pro boxing without this grassroots boxing. So yeah, Sean Farmer and what they're doing for the community and plenty of other coaches, it's second to none. So yeah.
If there's any businesses who are up for sponsoring the gym,
yeah,
they can reach out.
Reach out to Sean Farmer. If there's any businesses who, you know, you've got that extra pocket change,
advertisements in the team.
Advertisements in Waterloo, Crosby. Plus, don't forget, these boxers are fighting in competitions now. I believe, from what I've seen and what the coaches have done over the last few years, that this gym, it's definitely the best in Sefton at the moment. Yeah. However, I believe that this gym will have an ABA champion within the next 1 to 2 seasons, and an ABA champion goes all around the country. Then they start going in international competitions, so you go into other countries. So if you can get on board now as a business, this is the time. You won't find better exposure than that.
As you can see, you've got Carlos now coaching a few of the lads. We usually have maybe 12 to 16 lads, but the sun's been out today, so I imagine a few of them are in the beer garden. But yeah, you've got, you know, usually starting with a warm-up, basic training. Now, as you can see, the lads are shadow boxing now, just to warm up, yeah.
How long are the sessions for?
Sessions last an hour, from 8 till 9.
And is it every Wednesday? Just Wednesday?
Every Wednesday. We are going to start doing more sessions now. It's summer.
Is there any outdoor sessions?
We're going to be doing an outdoor session 1 day a week. We're just trying to find the day that works for everybody. Because the problem is, if you get 2 or 3 turn up, it becomes more of a one-to-one personal group session. We want at least 6 members to come, so we're just trying to build the numbers up again. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks we'll have another day that'll be outdoor.
If there's someone who wants to reach out to you and he wants to start coming down, whether they just want to come for the training classes or whether they want to take part in an 8-week camp and maybe go into the white collar event, then what's the best way for them to do that?
The best way is for them to go on Facebook and find me, Micheal James Loup, L-O-U-P, the surname is spelled. Find either me or Chad Loup or Carlos Gosling. Also me on Instagram, Micheal Loup Matador. Just hit us up. One of us will be sure to come back to you. But yeah, you can be rest assured that you're in safe hands in a friendly environment. We're not like other gyms. We've been through it. We know the score. So yeah.
If someone's never boxed before, or he was open to the idea to come down to the gym, what would you say to them to encourage them to come through the door for the first time?
Just do it. You won't look back. If you're going to live in your head, I understand the anxieties. I do. I've been there myself. And I still get it now after boxing for 20 years. When I go to new gyms, I can resonate with you, believe me. However, just take the jump. If anything, start with an outdoor session with me as a one-to-one. And then I'll bring you, once you've met me and you feel more familiarised, I'll then bring you to the gym after that. But please, just reach out to us and we can help you.
Is there any special offers or anything that you can offer anyone?
Your first session is free. Your first session is free. No obligation to join us. Just turn up.
Loopy, nice one.
Loopy's a man of the people and you get what you see with him. If you're open to the idea of boxing, but you're a little bit wary of stepping in the gym for the first time, Loopy, Chad and Carlos are the people for you. They won't just be your coaches, they'll be your mates as well. There was a couple of lads who were complete beginners today while we was there, and I had nothing but admiration for them. It goes without saying, they had stepped out of their comfort zone, and what's not to like when you see people doing that. Loopy's willing to do your first session for free on your terms, in the gym, Marina Gardens, or in your back garden at home if that's what makes you feel comfortable. So take them up on the offer, you've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. To stay up to date with our latest videos, subscribe to the Waterloo Cracker YouTube channel and hit the notification bell. Thanks, catch you soon.